Hi guys, JP from FSiPanel. On that new video, we will try one of the random airport and approach of FSiPanel feature, and we will see in real time what's happening on this one. I have no clue, so let's pick it up together. I just loaded for this flight the fly-by-wire A320. This is the latest build, and we are going to check what airport we get in one part of the world. So let's go ahead and do that with FSiPanel. And before I forget, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you. So let's open FSiPanel. Alright, here we are in FSiPanel, and we are in Zurich Runway 32 right now. So what we will do is pick a random airport. So we'll go to random, and the only thing we will try today is to have a low IFR, so something interesting. And again, let's keep the runway short, like 2,000 meters to 3,000 meters. We'll see something like that. Click on search and let's see if we get something. Okay, so let's have a look at the first airport. This is Kilo Lima Oscar Zulu. 2 nautical miles, overcast 100, 14/14, so that's why we have low visibility. Altimeter 3014. And there is a remark that the visibility might be coming 3/4. So for the time being, the visibility is good. Let's have a look at the runway that we have available at this airfield. Runway 06 and runway 24. So obviously we have to take runway 06 as there is an ILS approach. It's at 3 degrees and the runway is 1,000, roughly 800 meters. So quite a short runway for our A320. So we are going to check the performance before we get airborne, just to make sure we can land. Alright, so before we go any further, let's have a look at what is this airport. Kilo Lima Oscar Zulu. So I'll bring now Navigraph and we have a look at this airport. Okay, here we are, Navigraph. So we said Kilo Lima Oscar Zulu. London Airport. Where is this? So where the heck is this? This is Kentucky. All right, let's see what kind of runways they have here. 0624, yeah. And on the charts, okay, so we have runway 06 and 24 for takeoff. We're not going to take off, so we don't need the minimum. Let's have a look at the approach here. ILS 06, so that's the only thing we can do with this kind of weather. So for a straight-in approach, we need 1 mile. So that's not too bad. We have a ceiling at 250 feet. But remember that on the ILS approach, we only look at the visibility. We don't need to take into account the ceiling. That will be the case if we will fly a localizer approach. In that case, we will need broken 500, 600 in that case or more. Now we are doing just an ILS, so we are only looking at the visibility requirements, which is 1 mile. Okay, so 1 mile, that's it. And we are going to probably position ourselves next to waypoint E zone. This is 3,000 feet. And we are establishing at Adupi. So we can just position ourselves at E zone, do the setup, everything, and then fly the approach. That's it. So let's brief that approach, and then we will go in the airplane, move the airplane to the right place, and try to fly this approach. So we are going for an ILS runway 06 in London, Kentucky. The localizer frequency will be 110.9. The course is 057. We have 3,000 feet platform altitude, and we will leave at Adupi, which is 6.4 miles from the ILS. And the glide slope is 3 degrees. You can see it right there, 3 degrees down to the minimum, which in our case is 1462 feet. Airport elevation 1212, and the touchdown zone as well 1212. As for the MSA, 3,400 north of the airport, 4,400 meters south of the airport, and this is based on Lima Oscar Zulu VOR. Should we go miss, then it will be climb to 2,000 feet, then right turn to 4,000 feet direct to Lima Oscar Zulu VOR and hold. Continue climb in the hold to 4,000 feet. So basically we'll set 4,000 feet And once we pass 2000, we turn right direct to Lima Oscar Zulu. That will be a direct entry into the hold. It's a 4 nautical miles hold, so straightforward, not too bad to do. Great, so that's it. As for the weather requirements, we saw that the weather permitted this kind of approach, so we are going to give it a try. So let's move first the aircraft in the right place, and then FSiPanel will position us. So we need to set the aircraft in Kentucky, so in Kilo Lima Oscar Zulu runway 06. So let's go in the simulator, and we are going to do that right now. All right, so Kilo Lima Oscar Zulu, London, that's correct, that's the one we want. And we want to go on runway 06, that's the reference. Morning, that's fine. And we have the live weather condition. That's good. So let's go and click fly. All right, we are ready to fly. Here we are in the cockpit of our A320. As you can see, the weather is as expected. We have a little bit of fog right there. And the first thing I will do is set the training weight. And we are going to check if we can land on that airport with that weight that we will set. So let's go ahead and go with the fuel first. So here, I think 4 tons of fuel, like always, or like let's put 5 tons of fuel. That's its low visibility. We might have to divert. So if we divert here in Kentucky, maybe we can go to Cincinnati, which is, I think, the airport has all kind of facilities, even a Cat 3 approach. So that will be our diversion airport. So let's put 5 tons of fuel. And as for the payload, let's take 100 passengers maximum. Let's see the weight that we get with that. We are going to be at a zero fuel weight of 52.9. Okay, let's have a look at what it gives here. We are going to be at a weight that will allow us to land. So we can try that here, I think, in the landing. So let's have a look there, the wind direction. So I need to grab the weather. So let's do that. Let's have a look at the weather at this place. So the wind is calm. We have 2 nautical miles visibility. That's fine. So what we need to know, 14 degrees, 3014, and wind calm.
We're just wrapping up some paperwork up front here.
All right, so we are going to put here 360 at 0, doesn't matter.
We do appreciate your business having you aboard this flight. If there's anything we do to make your
How do I put the slash? I'm wondering. So let's keep it like this. I have never... okay. Wind direction 360. And we are going to put 0 knots. Temperature is 14 degrees Celsius. And we have 3014. Runway elevation. This is 1212 feet. We said the runway heading. Runway heading. Let's see what we have for the runway heading right there. We can see something like 057. 057. Looks like the runway is dry. Then the runway slope, we leave it at 0. Landing distance available. So let's have a look there. Landing distance available, and we need the approach speed. So runway slope, landing distance, approach speed. Okay, so let's bring Navigraph and have a look at that. Okay, so here we can see what? We can see that if we come from the glide slope on runway 06, we have 4561 feet available. That's not a lot, so let's see if that permits the landing here. 4561 feet. 4561 feet. Approach speed. Let's put 130 knots to check. The weight is 58 tons. We are coming with flaps full. Overweight procedure now. Reverse thrust, yes, even though we will not take it into account and we might do an auto land. It's a Cat 1, so no auto land. Basically, we have to land manually, or we are be responsible if we decide to go for the auto land. Let's calculate. And with maximum manual 3993 feet, so we are within. we cannot go auto brake low, neither medium. So we have to go manual by yourself. Okay, so that's gonna be interesting. So let's program this approach and we're gonna give it a try. So weather is not too good, manual braking. So let's bring FSiPanel and program that. All right, so first I will double click on runway 06 so that we have selected now the airport. And now for the fix, we don't have any stars, so we're gonna have to create a pilot waypoint. So I will do a new pilot waypoint, and for that we will pick a navade, and the navade is going to be E-zone, we said, so Echo Sierra Oscar November Echo. That's the one we want, 12 miles final, that's it. And the radial, so we are going to take the opposite, so 057, that's 237. 237, and we are just going to put 5 miles, so we should be 5 miles, or let's say 3 miles, good enough, west of E-zone. Compute the coordinate, the altitude will be 3,000 feet, and my heading will be 057. And we want to be clean at this stage, and we are going to call it E-zone. And this is for the ILS 06. Save the waypoint, it's all there. And we are clear to go, so I will click validate, and we can go ahead and click on move aircraft, and there we will follow what FSiPanel is doing, and hopefully we will be able to land, otherwise we will plan the diversion. So let's go ahead and click move aircraft, and here we go. So preparing your aircraft, please stand by. Now I'm just waiting here for FSiPanel to do the initial steps, and then set your thrust receiver to climb detent. So let's go climb detent. Now the airspeed will increase. That's the procedure on the fly-by-wire. So FSiPanel will kick in at 130 knots to bring us in the air. So that's completely normal. We just have to wait and see. Do not touch anything as always. 130 knots, we will go in the air. Here we go. And now FSiPanel is about to set our FCU and everything for us. So again, do not touch anything. As you can see, the auto throttle, well, auto thrust was engaged, and now FSiPanel will program for us the MCDU. Okay. We have alt cruise, that's perfect. And wait for 3 seconds to take over the control. Perfect. So here, that's very good that it happens just now. We had a gear problem, and this is happening sometimes when you bring the aircraft in the air with this fly-by-wire. It's so correct with the system that it gives that failure. Now it's cleared, so I guess we're not going to have any problem with our landing gear. I don't see it anymore, so that's fine. Okay, so let's go ahead. We are correct at the correct position. We have E-zone in front of us. We are at 3,000 feet. The ILS setting has been set. So let's have a look at the performance for the approach there. If I go to the approach page, which said the QNH is 3013, okay, 3013. Temperature was 14 degrees. The wind was calm, so I will just put 360 at 0 knots. And transition altitude, let's put 4,000 feet. Sorry, 180 in the US. Here we go. And the minimum is a barrow minimum, as we are doing a Cat 1 approach, and this is 1462. 1462. Minimum is set. Auto brake, we are going for manual max manual max braking. We have a very short runway, so we should not float, and that's about it. So all the lights, everything has been set by FSiPanel. And that's it. We are all good and ready to go. So should we go around? Will be, as I remember, straight ahead, 2,000 feet, right turn to Lima Oscar Zulu. So what I will do now, just to make sure, is in the radio navigation page, I will force Lima Oscar Zulu, and the course is for the holding 246 right turn. So I will just set 246 sorry, for the course. We'll do the same on the first officer side. Not in database. Okay. Lima Oscar Zulu. That's the one. And 246. Great. Now we are just going to put constraint here, and we are going to display VOR. That's it. We have it here. So everything looks good. We are ready to try this approach. And if we cannot land, we will divert. We will look at the weather in the hold, and we might go to Cincinnati or another airport that can accommodate us in a Cat 3 approach. Fuel-wise, we have about 5 tons, so we can play around a bit before we have a lot of fuel actually to land, and a couple of options. So we'll see that should we go around. For the time being, I still hope to land, so everything is done properly. So I hold the brake for 3 seconds. And here we go, we have control. So let's arm localizer for the time being until we sort it out. And now we will go direct to Kilo Lima Oscar Zulu. Bing. Nav, we don't want nav, we want localizer. So localizer is captured, the glide slope is available, approach is armed. I'll put second autopilot, even though I don't plan on auto land. And here we go, Cat 3 dual. Let's see how this aircraft performs for this approach, and I hope we will be able to land. So let's activate the approach if not already done. Confirm. Manage speed. We've got 12 miles to landing. Perfect. If we have a look here, we should see that we are perfectly established. That looks good. And we're expecting the glide slope at 6.4 miles. So we'll still have around 5 miles. Be careful because that's a very short approach. So be ready to configure it early. So around 8 miles latest, I will start to reduce the speed. Especially the weather is not good. So we have to be careful when we fly this kind of approach. Alright, so 3 miles before the glide slope. Let's go flaps 1. Speed check, flaps 1. Okay, the glide slope is alive. S-bug. We're going for flaps 2. Glide slope is there at 6.4 miles, correct. Glide slope captured, missed approach altitude set 4,000 feet. Let's go, gear down. Lights are on, and we can arm a speed brake. Let's see if the cabin are ready. They are. Speed check flaps 3. And speed check flaps full. Landing checklist. Okay, so we have gone altitude 4,000 feet set, cabin crew advised, and ECAM memo landing no blue. All good, so now we can concentrate on our approach. We might not have a go around in the MCDU. To be honest, I don't know with the fly-by-wire. I fly mostly the Phoenix. So we'll see, should we go around, if we can fly it automatic with LNAV, or if we have just to fly straight ahead 2000 right turn to the Lima Oscar Zulu and join the hold. Obviously, hopefully we will see the runway, and we should not aim for a kiss landing, but for a firm landing and full reverses and full braking. Okay, 1000 feet we passed, we were stabilized, missed approach altitude is set. Let's concentrate on the approach and let's hope we see the runway. For the time being, I only see fog, nothing in front of me. So let's see. I can see ground contact now. Land.
100 above.
Checked. Okay, we need to see the approach lights, guys. I have the approach light. I have the approach lights.
Minimum.
Continue. We have the runway threshold. That was the threshold lights. Autopilot comes off. And now we're aiming for a firm
50,
touchdown.
40, 30, 20, retard, 10, 5.
All right, touchdown, reverses, and manual braking. $60 knots out of reverse, and here we are. Very nice. So that worked. A very good thing. So it was very limit. We just saw the runway lights. Actually, on that approach, we didn't have any approach lights, so that's as well something that I forgot to brief. I will show you right now what I meant in the approach chart. So let's vacate the runway right there. Stop here. We set the brake, and I will show you something on Navigraph chart. Okay, so here we are in Navigraph, and you can see here what we have on runway 06. We have a runway and identification light that we can activate manually if they are not on 123.0, and we also have the runway edge. So no approach light system right there. If I would take for example Cincinnati, I have no clue what the airport, CVG I think, Cincinnati, yeah. So if I would take now an approach with a Cat 2 or Cat 3, or even Cat 1 sometimes, that's the runway, then we will see, if we go to the chart 10.9, 20.9, then we will get the informations about the runways, and here we can see that we have approach light, ALSR, so this is the approach light, so you can see, you have a better chance to see the runway with the approach light. Alright, so let's have a look now at the landing report. What did we do on this approach? So landing report, what we can see here. The wind was calm, of course, 13 degrees. Landing distance was short, 261 meters as expected, as we were quite heavy for that runway. Slightly left of center line, and it was close to a hard landing, but no playroom here to float. We just have to bring the aircraft down. IAS at touchdown 126, and the rest was good. We have flaps full, auto brake was not used. We disconnected at 180 feet. The threshold speed was 127, so we can see that on the speed we were very stable. 1000 feet we passed at 127, 500 feet 127, and at the threshold 127. We crossed the threshold at 44, so 50 feet is the perfect crossing altitude. Here I was a little low because I didn't want to be too long, and as per our deviation, localized on glide slope, we are all good. 0.0 dots, 0.1 dots. Maximum rate of descent was way within limits, 688 feet per minute at 150 feet AGL. This is where I went down to make sure I have a short landing. So that's exactly this is why we are low here on the threshold. All right, so that's it. Let's have a quick look now from the cockpit again. And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed that video. And if you have any question or comment, please drop it in the section down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you next time for another approach anywhere in the world. We don't know yet where we're gonna fly. Thank you guys. See you next time. Bye bye.